Nissan Micra has a reputation for being somewhat of a bohemian when it comes to style. Whether or not that's a good thing is debatable, but with the latest generation Micra it seems Nissan has toned it down a little, although its strange styling is still clearly prominent. So let's take a closer look at this oddball supermini. Now, as with all Nissans, it's all well built and well screwed together, so you can be assured that your Micra is going to be in it for the long haul. Now, there's also plenty of storage space around the cabin. We've got a very fair sized glove box, we've got a handy little shelf here, and another little bit of storage in the dash, so plenty of storage. We've also got 3 cup holders. We've got 1 here, 2 here, and another bit of storage at the back. We've also got iPod and auxiliary connectivity, so you'll be able to keep yourselves entertained on the road, and fair size side bins, so very, very practical indeed. And we've also got a centre console, which is very useful. We've got satellite navigation and of course our iPod and auxiliary connectivity, and all of which is controlled through here. And if you are used to some Nissans, then you'll be used to seeing this display because it's also in the Nissan Juke and Nissan Qashqai. Now, this car is also quite comfortable. We've got an armrest, which does make driving long journeys quite a comfortable ride. There's plenty of adjustment in the seat and steering rake as well. This is also adjustable. However, the steering wheel does only go up and down. It doesn't come in and out. So a little bit limited, but still quite good. Now, let's see how we get on for practicality in the back. One thing that's really useful about the interior of the cabin is it's very simple to navigate, with all the buttons clearly laid out and quite visible. Standard kit also covers the basics, including Bluetooth, electronic stability control, electric windows and plenty of airbags. I was actually pleasantly surprised when seeing how much boot space the Micra has to offer. A fair old size indeed, and you'd certainly fit the weekly shop in the back without a problem. And if that's not enough, these rear seats fold down simply by lifting up these little catches to extend the space even more. And if that's not enough, these little catches can be pulled, which allow the seats to fold up. So, trips to the tip shouldn't be a problem either. And what I love about these seats is they're so easy to fold up and down. You can literally do it with one hand. It's that easy. And there's also plenty of space in the back. There's quite a lot of headroom due to the bubble shape of its rear, and a fair amount of leg room too, so you should get a couple of adults in the back of the Micra very, very easily indeed, and certainly 3 kids without a problem. Now, there's only one issue. There's a ever so slightly small transmission tunnel running through the back of the vehicle, which may restrict and make the middle seat a little bit uncomfortable for a fully grown adult, but for 3 kids indeed, no issues whatsoever. So let's see what she's like out on the road. Compared to some of its competitors, the Micra hasn't got much to offer when it comes to engines. Although one of its 1.2 litre petrol models does offer sub 100 grams per kilometre of CO2 emissions. So I imagine if there were more engine options, you'd probably go for the 1.2 litre anyway. Although it isn't massively fun to drive, the Micra is okay on the whole. Its suspension can manage bumps in the road, and its steering is fairly responsive. Plus, the Micra has a really small turning circle, which makes manoeuvring a little bit easier. However, at speeds, the Micra starts to feel a little bit more like a supermini, as its handling seems to be a little bit unresponsive. With its city driving abilities and low emissions, the Micra will serve you well as an all-out runabout, and possibly even as a small family car. Considering some of the superminis that are about nowadays, the Micra doesn't really stand out from the crowd, and its price tag of just under £10,000 is not a massive selling point either. So with that in mind, we give the Nissan Micra 3 out of the 5 available stars. So let's break that down, firstly stopping at appeal. To a lot of people, it really is a love-hate thing with the Micra. You've got to hand it to Nissan because the Mikra's been about for years, and you can easily tell one when you spot one out on the road. Its interior design isn't much to go on either, even though it's well laid out and a little bit mundane. We give its appeal 3 out of the 5 available stars. Practicality isn't great on the Micra, although you can't expect too much from a Super Mini. Even so, its boot could do with being a little bit bigger, and its rear passenger room could also do with a little bit more stretching room. We give its practicality 3.5 out of the 5 available stars. To touch on performance, with the lack of engine choice with the Micra, you feel a little bit constricted, although the 1.2 litre petrol on offer is a decent performer. It would be good to have more of an option, a small economical diesel for example. We give its performance 3 out of the 5 available stars. When it comes to ride and handling, the Micra is nothing special. It gets the job done in terms of getting from A to B, but there are a lot of improvements Nissan could make to ensure a smoother and more enjoyable drive. We give its ride and handling 3 out of the 5 available stars. Even though there are a lot of holes to be poked in the Nissan Micra, there is no denying it is a cheap to run and quite practical vehicle, especially if you're looking for a little nippy daily commute car. We give its ownership 3.5 out of the 5 available stars. Overall rating, the Nissan Micra pretty much does offer all of the handy perks of most Super Minis, with an economical engine, snug size and rather low price tag of around £10,000. However, with the Super Mini market being so cutthroat, Nissan can't afford to just offer the basics or do anything by halves, which is what we feel like the Nissan Micra has done. And for that reason, we give the Nissan Micra an overall rating of 3 out of the 5 available Motor Talk stars.